alive, and I knew right then and there I wouldn't get you off my mind. But then I looked you up, and there she was, in your arms all cute and stuff. You got someone who signs for waking up. Why does my heart attract over me?
Hello friends, welcome to another weekly vlog, and today is Monday and it was a work from home day, which was fun. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm kind of glad for the quiet of a work from home day. But I'll give you a little bit of a wrap up of my weekend. Ignore the fringe, just really needs sorting. I keep saying that all the time, but now it's like I notice it every time I vlog. Over the weekend I started a couple of series. You will have seen mini B-roll at the beginning. So Attack on Titan was a random one because I didn't expect to start it last night. Well, yesterday, Saturday night, we'd had tea and we had no idea what to watch, so I suggested Supernatural. So I'd already watched a couple of episodes of that, so I started that. I'm now on episode 4. But yesterday I fancied a change, so I decided to watch Attack on Titan because I can only watch that on my computer. I was editing my vlog, so I thought once I edit my vlog I'll watch a couple of episodes of Attack on Titan. 13 episodes later, 1 AM crept around and I was just consistently sending Gem updates, and I'm like, sorry if I'm spamming you. She's like, no, keep the thoughts coming. And so I did. It's a lot. I will say that I expected to enjoy it. So with me and anime, I know going in that everything is over dramatic, whether it's the emotion of happiness or anger or sadness. Everything is over dramatic, which is probably the reason why or one of the reasons why I enjoy it. And I knew the base storyline of what Attack on Titan is, and if you've not seen Gem talk about this, where have you been? But also, I'll give you a quick review. So, it's been a century, and there's this city that's been built, and it has 3 different walls going from the outer to the inner. They're supposed to protect the citizens from the Titans. Each of these walls also has like an extra little walled city on the outskirts. There's like a buffer for each larger ring within this 3-tiered city. So all the citizens have lived for 100 years behind these walls without any issues or any incidents. And then all of a sudden, this big colossal titan, which is the named it Colossal Titan, just smashed a hole through this ridiculously high wall. And the titans aren't supposed to be that big. And then this titan, like, that was just pure muscle, looked over. And that's probably the titan that you've seen on one of the covers, which I think is on the first cover of the first omnibus, I think. And then these titans generally around, like, from what I've heard so far, between 12 to 15 meters high. And this colossal titan must have been like 50 meters. I'm sure they said the wall was like 50 meters high, and the colossal titan was able to look over the wall. So he is ginormous. And then this one they've named the Armor Titan, he turns up, and I will say the titans are creepy. I mean, obviously, like, they've got no reproductive organs and they walk around naked. It's not a bad thing. That's not the creepy thing. It's the faces. It's like they've photoshopped different faces, like, permanently. They've got a permanent facial expression. So some of them look like slight, like, baby faces, but a lot of them have these, like, really creepy, grinny faces and, like, wide eyes, and it's just like, coming towards you. It is fucking creepy as hell. And even the ones that look at you, like, with a sad face, it's still very eerie, and it gives me, like, goosebumps, but not in a good way. But anyway, I knew that there was some main characters that throughout the story they've got these soldiers that are supposed to fight the Titan. I don't know why it's called Attack on Titan, because it's the Titans that attack. Maybe there's reason behind that and I will find later on, but that was a question that arose in Na's brain. Just putting it out there for you guys to ruminate on that as well, because it's the Titans that attack. But I didn't know these smaller little plot points and then this plot twist reveal that came in. I had absolutely no idea that this was going to happen, and the actual, like, pure shock, I squealed. Because something happens to a character that I really didn't want to happen, and then something else happens, and I squealed and immediately messaged Jem, and I was just like, oh my god, this is freaking awesome. I normally don't like this trope, but seemingly when it comes to things that I like, and people that I enjoy, I like this trope, and I don't know why. Yes, I'm a hypocrite, comment what you like, I don't care. I am absolutely loving that. It took all my effort to stop watching it and to just, like, go to bed, try and get some sleep. I've not been sleeping well, so I was up and awake anyway, so I was like, why not watch some more Attack on Titan? And then I was like, got to episode 13 in season 1. So yeah, that was a thing. And now I'm sitting down, I've had some dinner, tea, what I'm going to call it, and I am now going to be watching a couple of episodes of Supernatural. I was going to go for Vox Machina, but I might leave that till a bit later in the week. Or Westworld, because those are still things I need to watch, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's a couple that I need to start to see if I enjoy them. What started off as just an April thing will just continue with, like, series and movies my friends recommend. I've already got Iron Brew, you don't know who Iron Brew is. I've already got Tori and Andy to recommend some things for me as well, and Kay threw a recommendation in there, which I've been told it's a thing called Community. I've been told it's quite funny as well by somebody else. That's going to be something I'm going to enjoy diving into. Yeah, there's a few different recommendations coming in from other friends now, and I'm excited to spend a bit more time watching things as well as reading. It's not going to all happen at once. I do still have a lot to read this week as well, and I have, speaking of reading, I have read almost all of Gallant today, and I've taken some notes on it. I forgot how well Scribd does eerie. Nothing has physically happened, but it's very, like, paranormal and eerie and just building that tension. And Scribd does this so well, and it just reminds me why I love this book so much the first time round. And I'm really glad that I saw Becca's vlog where she's reread this, and she said that the first time she read it, she just zoomed through it and she thinks she read it too fast. And she's given it a high rating now that she's reread it, which I'm really happy about, because I know that she loves Scribd as an author. And, you know, if you can't tell by the Scribd shrine she's got on her bookshelves, especially Addy. So I'm really happy that she's given it a high rating. And I think it is probably one of the most underrated Scribd books. I think more so because it was, the way that it was pitched as like a YA middle grade crossover type thing. I think sometimes that genre or age category thing sort of like maybe put people off or gave them a false sense of what it was supposed to be like, but I don't know. I loved it first time, and I love it even more this time around. And Olivia Pryor as a main character, chef's kiss. And if you would like to hear my full thoughts, feelings and ponderances, I will let you know when the Readalongs I live is for Gallant. It's going to be on Tori's channel, but I'm not really sure what date yet. I will leave it linked below once I know, and also we will post it on the socials. I will be seeing you tomorrow, probably now, and I will be watching Supernatural, where I get to see Dean and Sam do the damn thing. And boy, do they do the damn thing. You know what I mean? Question. I'm watching the Bloody Mary episode, season 1, episode 5 of Supernatural. Can we just stop tempting spirits? Because it's just not good. And I believe in this kind of thing, but even if you don't, for the sake of the people like me who do, can you not please Like, I don't understand why, even if you don't believe, why you would tempt fate. Like, why you would do that. Because it's just not fun. It's not cool. It's not funky, fine, fresh, nor fabulous. So please stop. Don't do Ouija boards. Don't say Bloody Mary or Candyman into the mirror numerous times. None of that shit. Leave them where they are. Leave the spirits to wander their plane alone and stop inviting them into ours, please. And I know that it's fictional, but I believe in this. And when I watch things like this, I want to scream at people because I know people actually do this. Just a message to those who think that maybe, oh, let's try a Ouija board and a seance when I don't know what I'm doing. No. Stop it. It's not fun, fine, fresh, funky, or fabulous. Hi. It is Wednesday. Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. It's podcast day, so it must be Wednesday. I got my nails done yesterday. Can you see? Can you see? There we go. I thought they were pretty. The girls picked them out. And I'm really happy with it. So, I'm just going to give you a brief update on what I'm reading. Just got a message from Andy. Because on the podcast, if you've never seen it, sorry if you're wonky, we're in a different position today. If you've never seen the podcast, me and Jem and the guests that we have on, near the end of the podcast, we ask them to pick a recent fave. Could be a fave, the book, YouTuber, social media person that they follow, series, movie that they recently watched. And I always forget to ask the guest to pick, because especially recently we've had a couple of guests, or we'll be having a couple of guests that have not previously been on the podcast. So yeah, I've just asked Andy. She just messaged me saying, I think you've given me an existential crisis. Sorry, Andy. I was not meant to do that. But yeah, I'm now on chapter 15 of Aurora Rising, and it's very interesting. I'm loving the fact that there's some different rep that's being portrayed. At the moment, I only know that one of the characters does like both genders. Kind of only hinted at one of the characters being bi, but we don't know what will come out in the rest of the book. And then, something that arrived today. I told you last week that I received a copy of a book that was for review and was a tad bit damaged. And the signed edition also came slightly damaged. So there was, I don't know if you can see that, this top bit was all bent and the bottom bit there was all bent. So luckily nothing is actually ripped. So if I lay this flat and then put something heavy on top, then hopefully these will go away. But there is some very cool digitally sprayed edges, and it is signed by TJ Klune themselves. Yes. And I need to take this sticker off. So I'm hoping to get around to this at some point in May. Hopefully. But I don't know. We'll see. I also do need to finish the Green Creek series as well. Wolfsong was the first one, and I loved Wolfsong, so I'm really enjoying getting the special editions of these books. There's only House in the Cerulean Sea that I don't have in hardback. The other TJ Klune books I own, I do currently have them in hardback. I don't know what else to tell you. I've got 3 hours left of Aurora Rising. I've been taking a few notes, but it's very easy to follow, and there's a few little bits that I've picked up on that I want to talk about in the live show that I've taken a few notes on, and I referenced a few different pages, but that's not one that I have to take in-depth notes on, so I'm all good with that. And then I think I'm going to move on to Eragon or Ghost of the Shadow Market, and then I've been told Stormcrow is on Scribd, so I ideally want to try and get through one of my self-destruct books because I'm not doing well with these self-destruct books. I need to go through the list that I've had already, and I think I've only read one. The rest I've not read in that month, therefore are getting on hold. But yeah, I'm gonna head off now, get situated and finish some more of Aurora Rising before I go on the podcast with the lovely Andy and Jem, and I'll see you all probably on the morrow because I'll be going to bed as soon as the podcast finishes. Hi guys, it's Thursday and this will be, what will it be? Might be the last full update I give you on my reading. And again, I've not read as much as I wanted to read, and I feel like a little bit of a failure in life because I was hoping to have had this finished by now, which is, you cannot see it because it's here. It's Aurora Rising. This is the Christopher Long book, and I think I gave you a little bit of an update on this when I first started reading it. It is so good. I'm not sure on the rating as yet. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a 4.5. It's not giving me 5-star vibes, but I do really like the crew as a whole, as a group. The different personalities work well together, the different skill sets work well together, and they make for an interesting dynamic within the story. My favourite characters are probably Cal and Finian, I think. I'm not the biggest fan of Tyler. He's like the alpha and he's like the most skilled out of everyone apparently, but there's something about him that I'm not a massive fan of, and I can't put my finger on what I'm not a massive fan of. So that's that. I am going to Ed's this weekend and I'm due to be coming back on Monday so I can get some work done so I don't lose out on hours again because it's bank holiday and I'm agency, so yay for me. So I'm going to be trying to read some of what I've got left over the weekend. I've got Eragon that I need to read and Ghost of the Shadow Market. I need to take notes on both of them because Eragon is all about fantasy and Ghost of the Shadow Market is for By the Angel Along. So those are the ones I have to read. I do also want to try and read Stormcrow. So I am working from home tomorrow. So because the Stormcrow is the one that I don't need to take notes on, I might listen to that while I work. And then I've got the weekends to finish Ghost Hunters and Ghost of the Shadow Market and Eragon. And then the other things I wanted to get to for the month will just have to go on to next month potentially. Before They Are Hanged is a book that I'm going to try and read next month if possible. It does mean I'm going to be behind on the Catch Up Book Club. I mean, to be fair, I didn't watch the live of the first one. I only started reading the Joe Abercrombie books, well, one because I wanted to read them and two because we're doing a buddy read with Chloe and Meg. So whenever they're ready to read it is when I'll continue that. So I'm not going to put out my official TBR for next month, but I do now have my TBR that's been selected by you guys and the guys over on Twitter, and my standard reads I need to read for my obligation reads. And yet again, it's probably 10 or 11 book TBR, maybe a little bit more if I think about it. Probably is a little bit more, not gonna lie. And yeah, I need to get those books off my shelves, get ready and have my tea first, and then sit and film that video so that can go up tomorrow. I do only have an hour and 20 minutes left and it's only 10 to 7, so I could get Aurora Rising finished tonight. But the message from Chloe, I did send her a couple of messages about a specific incident that occurred, and then she put, how much have you got left? I put 2 hours, and then she said, are you going to finish it tonight? I said, yeah, I need to know what happens. She puts the googly eye like emoji, and I wonder when tears will start. And then my response was a voice note to her saying that I don't know what's going to happen. I've got an hour and 53 minutes left, and the big thing that I thought was going to be end up on a cliffhanger at the time is over, and things are going a bit too well at the moment. So with an hour and 53 minutes left, I know things are going to happen and I'm scared. And then Chloe's ever so lovely response was, oh, you should be scared. Thank you, Chloe, for warning me. I mean, I do always prefer to be warned. That's fine, funky, fresh and fabulous. Oh, I still need to edit the podcast as well. And do the thumbnail. And upload it to YouTube. Then download it onto my computer. And then re-upload it to the podcast website that we use. So, yeah, I need to sort out a freaking better editing software that edits in MP4, because that at the end of the month takes a hell of a lot of time. So, not that you need to know this, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, I'm going. Bye. Hello friends, it's Friday. Just finished work. I'm getting my stuff ready to go and see Ed. So I'm just going to give you a bit of an update on my reading. I am finally reading Stormcrow. What I have done is, because I don't have the funds, I didn't realise how expensive Fire and Stars was. So I'm going to have to try and read that next month, and I can only get it physically because there is no audiobook version of it available. So unless there's a YouTube bootleg, which I don't think I'd be able to find. I'm partway through this now. I think I'm on like chapter 7. When I'm listening to it though, it seems like the chapters are really long. When I'm reading it, it doesn't feel like the chapter's that long. I don't know. Maybe I've just had it on too slow. So this will be first the self-destruct books, I think, that I've got around to actually attempting, she says, as she strains to think about what other things were on her self-destruct TBR. At the end of the year, as always, around vlogmas time, or during vlogmas should I say, I will be doing a reaction to my 12 books 12 friends video, but also my self-destruct video, to see if this kind of thing is going to work. And I'm already thinking about books that I can add on to my self-destruct TBR for next year. So far, it's okay. The main character, there is some mental health rep in this. The main character is a princess. Something bad has happened. I don't know if any of you know what this is about. Also told in first person, so we only get her thoughts and feelings on things. So it's a bit of an unreliable narrator, and her prejudices against a particular people and opinions of people are obviously the point of view that you see. So just bear that in mind when you're reading it. But I'm probably thinking at the moment it's a 3. I'm not sure how I'm going to get rid of this because it's an arc. I did finish Aurora Rising last night, and I got through all 32 chapters, and then from the end of like chapter 32 into chapter 33, very near the end, I was a broken person. So that was fun. I was doing so well, and I was like, oh, that's sad, that's not the nicest thing. But this hits me in the feels, right in my heart, and it was just gripped and crushed a little bit. That wasn't the nicest thing to end on, and I can understand why people want to go straight into book 2, because I do, and the only reason I'm not is because it's part of the read-along. Had that been the case, the rest of my TBR would have been out of the window. If they weren't read-along books that I needed to get to, this weekend would have been spent binging the rest of the series. That's a reading update. As always, when I go to Ed's, I don't vlog, so you might see a few phone clips of things I've been reading or things I've been doing, which will probably just be playing the Switch. Not gonna lie, we're getting the year subscription thing where you get like loads of additional SNES games, and just gonna probably play some old school Mario and just have a chill weekend, because although I love my job, this week has been very full on, preparing for working all by myself next week. So I've got a plan of action. I am working on Monday, which is bank holiday, because I need to make up my hours, agency life, and yeah, I will be back to wrap up this vlog, and hopefully I will have at least got halfway through Aragon and Ghost of the Shadow Market. I won't give you thoughts and feelings and ponderings on any of these, because they are read-along books and we're doing live shows for them. So yeah, see ya. Hello friends, it's Monday. I've come to give you a bit of an update on reading. So over the weekend I was at Ed's, I finished Stormcrow. I can't remember if I told you I started Stormcrow, but I did finish it. And that is the first self-destruct book, I think, that I've successfully completed this year. And we are on May now, and that was my April read. So I'm still going to haul it. I don't know how or where, because it's an arc, but it was about 3.5 stars, kind of predictable where it went. Like, it's a YA fantasy, so it was kind of predictable, but it was enjoyable. It was a fun read. And then today, whilst I've been doing some work, I listened to some of Love on the Brain because I wanted to read something that was easy to listen to, that wouldn't take too much brain power whilst I was trying to focus on some stuff for work. And yeah, it was fun. I really enjoy the book, and it's a great palate cleanser, and it was, I forgot how funny it can be. I love the relationships in this, and yeah, it is a typical, you know, miscommunication type of thing, and it's a very typical contemporary in some ways, but I don't know, it is great. Now that people pointed it out, it does sort of stick out a lot more that she consistently mentions how much bigger than B Levi is. It's not annoying, but it's noticeable now that people have pointed it out. When I'm going to a contemporary, I tend not to focus too much on things like that, because I know that there tends to be some typical tropes or repetitiveness in things, unless something pops out at me that's like problematic or, you know, racist or, you know, like stereotypical and rude, as in a certain contemporary written by a male that we read a few months ago. Then things like that are kind of repetitive, and it happens in Sarah J Maas' Crescent City books, males being alpha holes and how the males are so big and so, you know, this, that and other. I tend to like skim over that side of things because sometimes I just want to go into a book and enjoy the story. I don't want to go into it thinking too critically. If I want to critically review it, then I'll point those things out. But if I'm just going into a book for vibes and enjoyment, things like that, like repetitive grammar and repetitive words and things like that, I don't really focus on. So I don't know if I want to move on to something else to watch tonight, or if I want to move on to something else to read. But I finished work, gonna get some food, and then I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm probably gonna start reading Ghost of the Shadow Market, I think, or Aragon, maybe, because they were last month's books. But it's the 1st of May, and this is where the vlog ends. But thank you very much for watching. If you do like me and you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you are here and you want to let me know you're here but you don't have anything to say, leave the black hearts, very much appreciated. And I will see you all next week when I've decided what I want to read.
Tell me why. Every time I fall in love, it seems to be